Welcome back, Athlos artists. This is part 2 to your graffiti unit. I hope that you had a fun time yesterday designing your tag, designing your signature, so that now that we're getting to the actual mural part of it and the design part of it, you have a signature to sign it with in the bottom corner or wherever you decide. So with this part of today's project, since we already talked about graffiti, I won't review a ton of that in detail. I will just say a quick reminder that there is so much of public art and graffiti that is paid for, completely legal, completely safe, and it's good to focus on those ones. And so if you are going to do some kind of public art, that stuff where, again, you're commissioned, so that's where someone's paying you and asking you to paint on their wall, this is usually how you start. So this is how I had to start when I did my own mural back in Superior and a couple other places. So when you get a request or anything like that, usually you draw it out first, because you can't just go straight to the wall because you might make a mistake or it might not be exactly what the person is looking for. So first, try to just start with drawing a building. Since this is imaginary for us, you can draw any kind of building you want. It could be a crazy building. You could paint on some kind of skyscraper on your actual sketchbook. You could draw on a normal house, anything like that. So I just did a basic, kind of just like a box mural or box building, because that's the typical building that I would do my murals on. And then I specified that this is the outside of a recreational building. So that's one that has like clubs and stuff in it. And my theme for this one, you can see it kind of down here, is that art for all. So I mentioned yesterday how graffiti, one huge part of it is that it's public, anyone can enjoy it, anyone can see it. Doesn't matter if they're rich, poor, young, old, doesn't matter. And so I really like that idea of art for all. And so I want this mural to reflect that. And so after I have my theme and my building drawn out, including windows, now I can start drawing my actual design. I would recommend doing it in pencil, just because then you can erase it. But if you'd rather do it in pen, that's okay too. So I'm going to actually have mine, since I want it to be art for all, I kind of want to have a ton of different people on the bottom, all like saying together art for all in almost like a comic book style. Because if you've seen my comics in class that I like to show, I like to do a lot of comic book art. And so it'd be fun to have that in this design. So I'm going to put, I'd say right around here, almost like a huge speech bubble. And then I'm going to have in letters right here. And right now I'm just doing plain letters. I think as I would go along and actually finish this, I'm probably going to put like nice lettering in it, kind of like that more graffiti lettering that we learned about yesterday. So this is just art for all. And I'm going to make all seem extra big and then exclamation point. And now what I can do is I think I'm going to start drawing a bunch of different people on the bottom. And since this is a sketch, you don't have to do it like super detailed or anything like that. If you want to make it realistic, you can go ahead and do that. But right now what I'm doing is I just want to actually make this look where I get the general idea. So here's a person right here with a head covering. I'm going to make someone, I think I'm going to make me over here. And I like to do the cute little squishy eyes on these ones. You don't have to. You can do any style you want. Like I said, I just love my comics and being able to create those. I do journaling almost every day where I will draw me in these different kinds of styles. And then maybe I have like a ton of other people all around here. So just so that you don't have to just sit and watch me draw for however long, I'm just going to go like this, make it seem like if it was the final version, I would have tons and tons of different people. Because since my theme is art for all, I really want to emphasize and focus on how it's for everybody. So drawing tons of different kinds of people, kind of just going up the sides. And then in order to make it look like they're saying that, I can make little sticks, almost like little triangles coming from out here. Make it look like it's being said by a bunch of different people. And then I can just erase where it intersects right there. See how now it looks like the bubble is actually going to the people rather than just being separate. And then if I want to do some kind of design for up here, because I don't really want to put people up here, I feel like that might look like the people are floating. And if you want to do something like that, you can. But for mine, I think I would just do like a bunch of designs. So I would probably have bunch of circles or something. I kind of like how it reminds me again of that comic book style. So I would have a bunch of different circles here. And if you have time or resources or whatever, if you're just bored, you can definitely take this and color it, maybe fill it in on which kind of colors you want. Because like if I was going to color this, I would definitely have these top parts be more blues and purple, something like my little cardigan right here. And then I think down here I would have like some yellows, some oranges, just because then that would be complementary, since blue is on the opposite side of the color wheel as orange and purple is on the opposite side of the color wheel as yellow. So they look really nice together and have something like that. So you can just kind of keep playing around. If you want to do it on just a random design, if you don't want to make it where like yours is themed about some kind of point, or like you're trying to rally people together, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you just want to make a really cute cat on the side of some kind of huge Empire State Building, you can do so. Just somehow have fun with it. And then your last step before you're completely done with your, I would say this is like a proposal sketch. I might even put that right here, proposal sketch, because this is what you would give to the business or building or whatever it is before doing any of the work for them to approve it and be like, yep, I would love you to put that on my wall. After that, then you decide where you'd want to have your tag or your signature. So if I was doing that more bubble letter one that I had showed you yesterday, I would probably just over here have it, and then I would make my actual tag here. And you don't have to do the tag super detailed, since it might be kind of hard to do if it's so small, but just so that you're thinking like, okay, where do I want it to make sure that when people are walking by, they can for sure see that I did that. So if the door is this big, people would probably be around this big if they're walking by, probably a little smaller. And so I would want to make sure that mine's nice and big and in a very easy to spot area. Because if I put mine way up here, it'd be kind of hard for anyone to see it as they're walking by unless they happen to look here, but it's going to be really hard to miss it if it's right there. So that's your second portion of this graffiti / public art. I would love to one day hopefully do some public art as a school, but for right now, since it's kind of hard to do with everything going on and everything, we're just going to be doing some sketching and some planning, so that if we ever do get the option, or maybe you do get the option when you go to some other school or when you get older or anything like that, you have plans already made, so you're kind of prepped for that. Thank you so much for spending that time with me. I hope you have a good time creating. I will see you next week.